Hello everyone, we are live with Genshin Impact in Inazuma quests, but now I open and there is the Thunder Sojourn. Explore the brand new region in Inazuma and complete the challenges to obtain the character Uncrowned Lord of Ocean, Beidou Electro. I already have Beidou. Anyway, so let's go for this adventure, shall we? First, let's finish the Immovable Gold and Eternal Euthymia. It is a very long quest. Since yesterday.
Ah, you must also be here to try and convince Tejima to stay. Tejima has protected this place ever since he arrived here 30 years ago. Keeping out the treasure hoarders, fending off any monsters that draw near, resolving quarrels between the villagers. He has put an enormous amount of work into looking after this place, and we all think the world of him. But now, all of a sudden, he says he plans to leave us. We can't help but wonder, was it something we did? We will gladly apologize if that's the case. All we want is for him to stay.
If you want my opinion, something to do with the Vision Hunt decree. It's clear that Tejima had done nothing wrong, and still they confiscated his vision. After that, he became a completely different person. I can't claim to fully understand it, but I could tell that he'd lost something very important to him. He went off on a walk, alone, circled the village a few times, and then, out of the blue, he announced that he was going to leave and become a wanderer. Truth be told, we aren't sure whether trying to keep him here is the right thing to do. But equally, it doesn't feel right to let him leave when he's in this state. He's a lost soul.
Seems like he's a well-respected guy around here. You must be Tejima. So what's made you want to up and leave all of a sudden?
Me? It's not a question of why I want to leave, but a question of what reason I would have to stay. true. But that's not why I chose to stay here, and what made me want to come here 30 years ago. And why have I never wanted to leave in all that time? I don't have answers to those questions, because I can't remember anymore. Ever since they took my vision away, it's like a slice of my memory is gone. In the past, I knew I wanted to stay here. But whatever resolve I had then, it's gone now. So I thought, what's to stop me from moving around instead? The emptiness inside me will be there either way.
Okay. Well, in that case, if we help you rediscover the reason you chose to stay, you won't need to leave anymore, right? But if you can't remember anything, it's not gonna be easy. Oh, maybe if you just try a little harder to remember, then it'll all come flooding back?
Oh, that reminds me. Last time I brought Tejima some fruit, I do believe I saw him writing in a diary.
I keep a diary? If you say so. I honestly can't seem to remember.
Oh, yes, you do. And what's more, I remember you saying at the time that you wanted to make a note of a few interesting things. Things which would prove very important at a later date.
Perfect! So if we want to keep Tejima from leaving, we just need to find his diary. It must be around here somewhere. Let's take a look.
If you don't mind, we will leave you to find the diary. We should head back to the village to inform the others of Tejima's situation.
One day, I'll be as great as Ryuji.
This looks like Tejima's diary, all right. Let's see what we have here. Today, the villagers and I got together to cook dry braised salted fish. I messed up and burned mine a little, so I had to pretend that it was black snakehead instead. Today, I helped rescue a kid who had fallen in the water. After I pulled him out, he told me that his best friend Bamboo was still in the water. I searched the water the whole afternoon before finding out that Bamboo was the name of his pet crab. I went kite flying today. The string broke, so I chased after it as fast as I could. I soon realized I was never going to get it back, so I just found somewhere to sit and watch as it flew away into the distance. Seems like your average diary of daily village life. Huh? Wait, there's more! I went to pray at the shrine again today and stayed there a while. The Omamori you gave me has faded a little, but it is still my most treasured possession. Now that's the kind of info we're looking for. Time to pay a visit to the shrine. So this is the Omamori Tejima wrote about. Interesting. Looking at the color and the design, Paimon would have thought it belonged to a child. But anyway, if he had this with him all the time, there's a chance some of his elemental energy remained on it. Do you think that it might come in handy? somewhere that Tejima visited a lot? The soil looks like it's been disturbed. Maybe Tejima buried something precious here. Something that kept him in the village all these years? Must be something pretty amazing if it made him stick around for 30 years. Let's dig it up and take a look. It looks like a letter. The paper's gone yellow. Must have been written a really long time ago. Konda Village. Sounds so familiar. Where is that place again? So the reason Tejima came here was to wait for someone. But he's been here for 30 years. Oh, guess they didn't show up in the end, huh? Well, let's go give Tejima his stuff back and take it from there.
Well, I'll be. That's certainly my handwriting. And I guess the Omamori and letter belong to me too. But I have no memory of anything that's written in this diary. Still, it's clear that I was waiting for someone here, and that I chose to wait for 30 years. Over the years, I must have made a note of anything interesting. Anything that I could share with her when we were finally reunited. And just look at all the things that did happen over the years. The time has flown by so quickly. 30 years feels like the blink of an eye. How could I have forgotten something so important to me? Now that I think about it, when my vision was taken from me, it felt like I'd suddenly been hollowed out. Love, regret, everything I felt for her, it's all disappeared. No, not especially. After all, I've forgotten who she was. Her face, her voice, the things we experienced together. I barely recall any of it.
It is very sad.
It's as if she'd never been in my life to begin with. As if all these years have been nothing but a hazy dream. I think maybe not. If this is something I waited most of my life for, I suppose I should carry on waiting. Although, what if she were to turn up eventually, only to find I didn't remember so much as her name? Wouldn't that be upsetting for her? When I think about it like that, I do feel a slight tinge of sadness in my heart. How curious. Why am I thinking like this when I don't even remember who she is? It's just like that feeling of emptiness. The feeling that something is missing. Thank you both for helping me reconnect with my reason for staying here. I shall remain here and keep waiting for her.
Tejima seems to be dealing okay, but still, it makes Paimon really sad.
It is really touching.
Seems it's just like Ayaka and Toma were saying. If you lose your vision, you lose all your hopes and dreams too. That certainly explains the state Tejima was in earlier.
And maybe also the traveler lost the vision because she doesn't remember her past.
At least we were able to help him, weren't we? Well, let's go find the next person. According to Miss Kamisato, the second one who lost their vision is a samurai from the Tenryou Commission.
Quite a downpour. Nothing will get done until it clears. Let this be a lesson to those who yesterday said I'll do it tomorrow.
They say the Tenryou Commission is directly controlled by the Shogun. They're the ones responsible for maintaining law and order in Inazuma, the ones actually enforcing the Vision Hunt Decree. But why would they take action against one of their own? Paimon doesn't get it. Huh? There seems to be some commotion over there. Let's go see what's happening.
I'll ask one more time. Do you intend to withhold this month's emergency provisions?
The entire clan is counting on that food! We demand an explanation!
How many times do I have to say it? I don't know anything about emergency provisions!
You dare deceive us? Those provisions are essential! Do you understand? Not some goods to be pocketed by greedy samurai!
You samurai think you can just do whatever you please? The Tenryou Commission will hear of this!
Oh, huh? And who are you? One of Kurosawa's gang, no doubt.
What? We just happened to be passing by. We heard the commotion and came to see what the matter was.
I see. You seem to have come just at the right time. Perhaps you can help us settle this matter. This is Kurosawa. He's a samurai and a member of the Shogun's army. They issue emergency provisions to the area, and he's the one responsible for distribution. In the past, we'd simply ask him for provisions and everything would be delivered. Now, he suddenly refuses to give us anything. He's keeping the provisions for himself, I just know it. We'll starve without them.
No one seems to care about us. We used to think Kurosawa was a kind man, but he's shown his true colors. He's the same as all the other samurai. It's no wonder all the visions have been confiscated. The Raiden Shogun doesn't need people like him helping her rule the nation.
This must be one of the people Ayaka asked us to help. But why would she ever want us to help someone like him? Maybe we should talk to Kurosawa and see what he has to say.
I've never even heard of these emergency provisions. I don't know whether it's rumors or whether they're trying to blackmail me. But either way, it's ridiculous. If I was hoarding supplies, would I still be the poor man I am today? My own family can barely get by as it is. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got other matters to attend to. And that's the first bit of truth I've heard all day. The Shogun's army told me that I was unworthy of my vision. And they said I was slacking off in my work. Apparently, I'd even disappointed the Raiden Shogun. And that's why they confiscated my vision.
Well, that's strange. You were helping enforce the Vision Hunt Decree. Why would you be unworthy of your vision?
To be perfectly honest, I don't seem to remember the details. All I know is that I would perform certain things every month. But I don't recall what they were. And it's not just that. I have this unsettling feeling, like someone owes me something.
Does it have to do with the missing emergency provisions?
I didn't take any. Like I said, if I was taking them for myself, I wouldn't be going through such hard times right now. To top it all off, my house was just raided by treasure hoarders, which is why I came here in the first place. I was chasing after them when I got held up by these two. If you don't believe me, go find the treasure hoarders yourself. If there were any emergency provisions to be had, they would have found them.
Huh. He seems to be telling the truth. But we better confirm. Let's go round up those treasure hoarders and see what they have to say. We should be able to follow their tracks. They couldn't have gone too far. Let the show be.
We really outdid ourselves this time. All those samurai houses packed with goods. We really hit the jackpot. I mean, besides that one house.
You haven't seen anything yet. There'll be a lot more where this came from. Today's just the beginning. I'll be leading you all on an epic journey of pillage and plunder that will go down in hoarder history.
You demand, boss!
These seem like the treasure hoarders we're after. Let's teach them a lesson. I'll protect
Another
us.
test subject.
Incoming!
You're open!
Don't blink!
The wrong test subject.
Aw, there goes all the Mora. We worked hard to steal that, you know? Come on, boss. Think of something.
Not bad, kid. You ever think of joining the treasure hoarders? We could use someone like you. Kurosawa. Oh, I remember. So he's the one who sent you after us, huh? Just our luck. I knew we shouldn't have hit that place.
So what did you see inside? Was it stuffed with food supplies?
Food supplies? You kidding? That place was a complete mess. All we found was a strange-looking box, hopefully with valuables inside. I didn't want anyone else to see it, so I was planning on opening it myself once we got back. But now that you've caught us, how about we make a deal? That little box for our freedom. What do you say?
You've got a deal. Now show us what's in the box.
Huh?
What the?
There's nothing in here but IOUs!
Yeah, a lot of them too. And they all seem to be made out to the owner of a general goods store, a Miss Aoi. We're talking tons of Mora here. We better talk to this Miss Aoi and get to the bottom of this. As for you guys, you're free to go. Just pray that our paths don't cross again.
Yes, of course.
So, we redeemed ourselves for some IOUs. Does that mean we broke even?
Shut it. Let's just get out of here.
Welcome to Tsukumomono Groceries. We've got everything you need. Can I help you find something? Or perhaps there's something you want to inquire about? Ah, so you're friends of Kurosawa, I take it? Perhaps you're here to pay off his debts.
Whoa! Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're just here to learn where they all came from. How did Kurosawa end up owing you so much money? Did he buy anything super expensive here?
Let me think. Kurosawa would come regularly to purchase large quantities of foodstuffs. He'd always put the payment on his own account. However, the price of provisions began to skyrocket recently, and his salary was no longer enough to cover the cost. So, he started writing out IOUs to cover whatever he couldn't afford of the usual amount.
So that's how he was getting those emergency. But why did he have to purchase a usual amount? If the prices increased, couldn't he just buy less?
Well, if you think about it, the citizens receiving the emergency provisions must have been carefully calculating how much they needed to sustain them each time. Kurosawa thought that it would be quite the disappointment for them if they found they didn't have enough, especially after such long and careful planning. So he deemed it necessary to take on the debt rather than let the people down.
Wow. Kurosawa was purchasing all the emergency provisions at his own expense, and no one ever appreciated what he did. They just complained and held him accountable.
People's attitudes will always reflect their circumstances. In the face of hardship, nobody cares to think twice. If you ask me, had Kurosawa told everyone the truth about the supplies from the start, then there wouldn't be such a severe backlash now. Of course, I'm sure there would still have been some unrest. What he was doing was truly a thankless deed. As for why he chose to spend his own money on emergency provisions and never tell anyone, I'm still not too clear myself. If you're still curious, why don't you go ask him yourself? I see. That reminds me, it seems that his vision was recently confiscated. Most unfortunate. If he doesn't clear the debt on his name, he'll have no choice but to sell that sword that is so dear to him.
Sword? What sword?
Oh, didn't he tell you? He possesses a very valuable blade. He's carried it for years now. I've asked him about its origins. He told me that it was a gift from his father, that it was too precious to sell. In hindsight, I regret that I never made an offer on it. Everything has its price, at least that's what I think. Why don't you ask him about the sword yourself? Perhaps it'll even provide you with the answers you're looking for. Oh, but before you go, if you would kindly settle today's bill.
But we didn't buy anything!
Information is also a kind of commodity, wouldn't you agree? Don't worry, I won't charge much for information about Kurosawa. Nothing we ever discussed was explicitly confidential anyway. Oh, let me think. 2,000 mora should be a fair price.
At least we now know where the emergency provisions were coming from. Plus, we found out that Kurosawa has a priceless sword in his possession. Let's go talk to Kurosawa again and see if he can remember anything. What are you doing here all by yourself? Where did those other two go?
I presented them with a choice. Either they left or I drew my sword. It turned out to be a real time saver, actually. Perhaps I should start using it more often. Did you manage to track down the treasure hoarders? Everything I said...
That just about sums it up. It turns out that you really were distributing emergency provisions, but they were all purchased at your own expense.
Strange. Is that really the kind of person I was? I don't really have any such recollection. Even after all you've told me, I still don't remember anything. Why was I purchasing emergency provisions for everyone? And why would I put myself in such a difficult situation? I really don't understand, but I cannot deny that when I brandished my sword to scare those two away, could sense that my body was somehow reluctant to do so. This sword was once wielded by my father. I remember once when I was young, I wanted to sneak out with the blade and show it off to the kids next door. My father ended up catching me in the act and scolded me severely. What did he say? I can't seem to remember that either. It would seem that I forgot many important things when my vision was taken from me. So many memories gone. Forever. No matter how hard I try to remember, all I can remember now is my father telling me that this blade bore his life's creed. Before he passed away, he placed the sword in my hands and said to me, "With this sword, you should..."
Hey, if you look carefully, there seems to be some words engraved on the hilt. Can you recognize the words?
Virtue? And somehow those two words seem to explain everything now, taking on seemingly endless debts to make others happy. I guess that must have been my greatest ambition after all. But what use are virtue and justice? I purchased the provisions for those in need, and look how things ended up. The Tenryou Commission seized my vision, and the very people I was so desperately trying to help refused to understand me. And the irony of all of it is, I somehow still felt sorry when threatening them with my blade. I'm incapable of being a good person, yet I'm equally unable to be bad. I don't know what to do with myself.
Yet another troubled soul. When we get the chance, let's speak to Toma about Kurosawa's debt. The Yashiro Commission would surely help cover his expenses. In any case, we must never let him sell off that sword. Yeah, seems like losing all ambition is a terrible experience. Fortunately for us, you don't have a vision. Let's go find the next poor soul.
In adventuring, as in business, you always have to seize the opportunity while it's there.
The third person who had their vision taken is supposed to be a famous sword master around these parts. Hyman heard that he's the present-day master of Meikyo Shisui art. Sounds pretty impressive. This is his dojo. Luckily, there's some people around. Let's go talk to them.
Nanako, don't worry. Sensei will be fine. Those thugs that challenged the dojo were strong, but he fought them all off in the end, didn't he?
Maybe, but I'm still worried about him. Things have gotten dangerous before in the past, but it's never shaken him. This time, though...
It's just because he's been possessed, that's all. Once the exorcism has taken place, he'll be right as rain in no time.
Hey there! Did something happen?
Who are you? I don't care whether you're trespassers or just here to harass us while Sensei is impaired. Get out of here immediately! Don't make me draw my blade, or you won't live to regret it.
No! You got it so wrong! We just came here to...
Disciples?
Yep. We've heard all about the mighty master of Meikyo Shisui art. It's the whole reason we came all this way, to seek him out and ask him to train us. But then we got here and overheard you talking about how he got possessed or something?
From the way you're dressed, it doesn't look like you're from around here. Please, accept my apologies. We've had so many people trying to cause us trouble recently that we're on high alert. You haven't arrived at the best of times, I'm afraid. Sensei got possessed recently, and he's still recovering. I see you are earnest in your pursuit. Okay, how about this? My fellow disciple Nanako and I will explain Sensei's situation to you in a little more detail. Then you can decide whether to stay or to leave. Sensei's name is Domon, a name I'm sure you've already heard. Though self-taught, he mastered the art of the sword to a high level. He then proceeded to defeat many other prominent sword masters, never losing a single fight. He once said that his goal was to become the best sword master in the world. And so, even while training us, he continued to hone his own art. His fervor truly inspired us, and we trained hard, determined to keep up with him. But then...
Not long ago, Sensei had his vision taken away. He hasn't been the same since. He says the strangest things over and over, and he refuses to let us train. Junya and I have discussed it, and we both think that he's being possessed by an evil spirit. So we've asked the shrine maidens from the Grand Narukami Shrine to perform an exorcism, but if I'm honest, I still have my doubts over whether he'll completely recover.
The Grand Narukami Shrine? What's that?
You haven't heard of it? It's the largest shrine on Narukami Island. The head shrine maiden is reputed to have very close ties with the almighty Shogun herself. Not that we'd have any means of involving the head shrine maiden, of course. But even one of the ordinary shrine maidens from the Grand Narukami Shrine would have clear power and authority to perform an exorcism. So don't worry, Nanako. Sensei is going to be just fine. The exorcism will take place this evening. You're both more than welcome to come and watch if you're interested.
So, losing your vision can cause possession? Guess we should come back this evening and see for ourselves.
Shh. So you decided to come. It's a good thing you didn't arrive any earlier. You would have had to witness Sensei in one of his fits of madness. Just now, when Nanako was attending to him, she heard him whispering a few names to himself. When she asked him who the people were, he suddenly looked panic-stricken and pushed her away. It looked like he was in great distress. He was covering his ears and looking frantically around him with bloodshot eyes. All the while he kept calling those names. Some of them we knew, others we didn't recognize. But they all seemed to be the names of sword masters he had defeated in the past. One of them was Anzai. He used to be a fellow disciple of Sensei's, his senior, in fact. But Sensei defeated him in a duel many years ago, and he has been a wanderer ever since. Sensei wouldn't stop calling his name. Thankfully, the shrine maidens managed to subdue him, so the exorcism can finally continue. The ritual has now begun. All we can do is patiently await the result. Here's hoping Sensei will be back to his normal self very soon. Please, excuse me for a moment while I fetch some water. If he wakes up, he is sure to be thirsty.
Huh? Who's that sneaking around? Uh-oh. Could they be here to mess up the exorcism? We won't let them get away with it. Come on, let's go after them.
How did you catch up with me so quickly? Are you sure you're Domon's disciples? You move even quicker than he does, unless... I guess it's been a few years. Maybe his skills have improved again.
Excuse me? We're the ones asking the questions here. First off, who are you? And what are you doing sneaking around these parts? You seem like bad news, mister.
Bad news? I'll have you know I trained side by side with Domon back in the day. Long before you ever showed up. I don't care to talk about that time anymore. But if you must know, I am Domon's senior.
His senior? Wait, that means you must be...
Anzai. Yes, that's me. Because I don't wish to see Domon or anyone else associated with him ever again. When we were young, we trained under the same swordmaster, studying Meikyo Shui art together. I had begun training 5 years before him, and everyone looked up to me as a steady and dependable older disciple. Practitioners of Meikyo Shui art seek to achieve stillness of mind, freedom from all agitation. So the majority of disciples are indifferent to rank and reward. I was no exception, but Domon was different. The first thing he did when he joined was go straight to our sensei and ask him, with a beaming smile on his face, how to become the best in the world. Sensei scolded him and told him that the art of the sword should not be used for such vain ends. Sensei said that coveting the title of the best swordmaster, barely days into his training, showed that he had a fickle mind, and that this would impede him from ever mastering the blade. I thought so too at the time, but Domon began making swift progress in his training, and even started catching up with me. Only then did I realize that it was Domon who had long since freed his mind from all agitation. He was consumed by his singular desire to become the best in the world. He sought nothing less than perfection in the art of the sword, and nothing could deter him from this goal, no matter what stood in his way.
Sure sounds like he meant business. So how come you don't want to ever see him again?
Because until he arrived, I was convinced that I would succeed our sensei as the master of Meikyo Shui. Of all the disciples, I was the most gifted. I had trained the longest. Everyone had high expectations for me. Domon's arrival changed everything. When we sparred, I lost not just the match, but my pride and my status too. I fled the dojo that day and never looked back. Later, I heard that he sparred with Sensei too. Sensei was advanced in years by then, and unfortunately that match used up every last ounce of energy in his body. After that, I wanted nothing further to do with him. Deep down, though, I still respected his mastery of the blade and his commitment to the art of the sword. So, when I heard rumors that he had lost his mind, my first reaction was to dismiss them as false. How could he, of all people, have lost his mind? His mind was the sharpest of them all. He had practiced Meikyo Shui art to perfection. I decided to quietly come and see if it were true. Then, to my complete astonishment, I heard him call my name. I thought mine was a name he had long since forgotten. So you see, I came here not to cause him any harm. I just wanted to see for myself. Okay, you've heard my story. You should get back now. The exorcism is probably finishing.
Seems like we got it wrong this time. He wasn't here to mess up the exorcism at all. Still, Paimon's not sure we should bring him back with us. Let's go see how the exorcism's coming along.
You're saying he isn't possessed? Does that mean he's just lost his mind? But how is that possible? No, I refuse to believe it. Something's clearly wrong.
Nanako, please. Try not to get agitated.
I am sorry. With what powers I have, I can find no sign of any malignant spirit having possessed Domon. But spirits may take a myriad of forms in this world, many of which I cannot claim to have witnessed myself. Thus, I dare not rule out possession with complete certainty. And all is certainly not lost, for I received word not long ago that Lady Yai has taken an interest in your sensei's case.
Lady Yai? Is that the same Lady Yai that I think you mean?
The head shrine maiden of the Grand Narukami Shrine? That's wonderful news! Then Sensei will be sure to recover.
Correct. Lady Yai is most knowledgeable indeed, and has abundant experience in the exorcism of evil spirits and aversion of great calamities. I am unable to say for certain whether an evil spirit has possessed your sensei, but Lady Yai can give a conclusive verdict.
Excuse me, Miss Inagi, but I must ask, should we prepare a greeting gift for Lady Yai?
That won't be necessary. All that is required of you is your timely arrival at the Grand Narukami Shrine. Lady Yai does not like to be kept waiting. I must leave now, but we will meet soon at the shrine. I wish Domon a full and speedy recovery.
Who'd have thought Lady Yai herself would have taken notice of our sensei's case?
Do you mean to say that Sensei isn't renowned enough to deserve Lady Yai's attention?
No, that's not what I meant at all. You misunderstand me. I just mean this is Lady Yai, the head shrine maiden. She has direct and close contact with the almighty Shogun Anyway, you should join us too, tomorrow. Given that you've traveled all this way just to meet our sensei, we, the disciples of Meikyo Shisui Art, will do our best to help you.
Sure! After all, everyone seems pretty excited about Lady Yai. We're curious to meet her too. Who knows? Maybe we'll be able to find out a thing or two about the Raiden children from... Do you think that's Lady Yai? Oh, no wonder Junyo is so excited. She has a really striking presence. Also, is it just Paimon? Or did she look right at us just now? It was probably nothing. It's not like she's ever seen us before.
Keep away. Keep away from me. I gave up the art of the sword. Please, let me go, I beg you.
As you can see, Lady Yai, Domon has persisted in this state for some time now. He appears to see those who have lost to him in duels past, gathered all around him to persecute him.
Lady Yai, it must be a possession, right? This is nothing like him at all. In the past, no matter what came his way, he would always face it with a confident smile.
I'm sorry. It is clear to me that your sensei is not possessed by any evil
But then does that mean he...
Yes. This is a change in the person himself. Unable to cope with the tremendous pressure he was under, he suffered a spiritual collapse. With his wits impaired, he finally descended into madness. As one who is thrown into the sea, though he fights back desperately against his predicament, it does nothing to prevent his descent into the depths. As for what has triggered this change, I believe it must be the loss of his vision. For to be stripped of one's vision is to be stripped of one's ambition.
Stripped of his ambition? But Lady Yae, even without his ambition, why should he suffer such a dramatic change? How does that explain his descent into madness?
Your school practices Meikyo Shisui art, does it not? Stillness of mind, freedom from all agitation. What a fine notion that would be if any in this world could ever hope to achieve. There was once one who claimed to be indifferent to rank and reward, and who fled enraged when defeated by his junior. And then there was an aged swordmaster who was aggrieved enough that he crossed blades with a disciple he himself had taught. Then, what of the one who crossed blades with his own sensei and beloved fellow disciple, and defeated them both? Can one truly remain unagitated, of still mind in moments such as these?
Lady Yae, I'm not sure I understand.
The path of the swordmaster is filled with twists and turns. It is no small undertaking to pursue the position of greatest swordmaster in the world. It requires one to take their sword firmly in both hands and cut down the hopes and dreams of others, even those of one's closest companions. Only a deep commitment to his ambition to become the best made it possible for him to rise above the pain of these encounters, to focus on the way ahead. When that ambition disappeared, he began to doubt himself. As he... much like a certain fatally flawed friend of mine.
Poor Sensei. To think he's been suffering so greatly.
I'm sorry. It's all my fault. Father, Sensei, Anzai.
That's enough.
Huh? Isn't that Anzai? Where did he come from? Did he follow us the whole way here?
Anzai, why are there two of you? Is that you or a ghost? You're here for revenge, aren't you? I knew it would come. I never should have.
You're right to assume that my feelings towards you are far from kindly. But I didn't come here to settle a score. It's been so long now that I made peace with it years ago. You did nothing wrong that day. I couldn't face the humiliation. That's why I ran. I don't think most of the people you beat along the way would hold it against you. On the contrary, when you cut our ambitions short, we entrusted them to you, in the hopes that they might carry you further. Now I know that we can't place our hopes in you any longer, since you've been stripped of your ambitions too. But that is no reason to strip them of theirs. Follow the way of the sword all the way to the highest peak. You taught them that, didn't you?
But what if one day, the same thing happens to them? I put everything I had into trying to become the best. But what if it was all a huge mistake right from the start? If there's a chance they'll end up like me one day, I'd rather they stay where they are now than go any further down this path.
Have you asked them what they think?
Sensei, after you rescued me from the hands of the pirates, I told myself I would follow in your footsteps for the rest of my days. I can't know whether I will suffer in my future as you do now. All I know is that here and now, in the present, I wish to continue. I want to keep going until the day that I can stand before everyone with my head held high and announce that I, like my sensei Domon before me, am a master of Meikyo Shisui art.
Nanako's far from the only one. Actually, all of us think that way.
Goodness. Well,
You see? You can place the ambition you once had in their hands. Being stripped of your ambition is something that's never happened to me, so I can't claim to understand it. But I do know what it feels like to have your ambitions crushed. That's what happened on the day that you so effortlessly defeated me. So, just as I once placed my ambitions onto you, it is time for you to release yours into their custody. You are not in the same position that I was. When I left, I had nothing to my name. But you have a great number of worthy disciples.
I understand. I'm sorry to have made you worry for me, and for the state of Meikyo Shisui art. I no longer have the resolve to become the best in the world. The emptiness and suffering inside of me will not abate, so I cannot hope to still my mind and be free of agitation. But as your sensei, I shall commit to imparting unto you everything I have learned in my life so far. This is my promise. And I humbly ask Anzai, my senior, to hold me to my word.
You can count on that. I'd be checking in on you occasionally anyway, just to make sure you hadn't lost your mind again. But I am now used to the life of a wanderer. I do not belong in the dojo anymore, so I will simply stop by once in a while to make sure you aren't cutting any corners with them. Well, don't just stand there staring at me. Say thank you to Lady Yai and then get yourself back home.
So even though his ambition was taken away, his disciples can take it over on his behalf. Guess that sort of solves this one, huh?
Traveler, a moment, please. Lady Yai has some words for you.
So, my intuition was correct. The wind that blows from afar carries fresh life to these shores. For us to meet now is premature. Nevertheless, you set foot on these islands at precisely the right moment. I have high hopes for you, child. Don't disappoint me.
Ooh, Lady Yai seems to have taken a real interest in you. She seems super mysterious. Paimon's so curious what she really meant by all that. We can come back to it another time. For now, we should go report back to Miss Kamisato. Guess who fulfilled all your wishes? Huh? Ayaka! Huh?
Huh?
Traveler, Paimon. It is a pleasure to finally meet you both face to face. I have heard all about how you helped our three friends. My sincerest thanks to you.
Yeah, short of getting them their visions back, it seems like there's no way to really help them. Ayaka, how come this time you get to come out and meet us in person?
Because now that you have done the three things I asked of you, I consider you to be my friends. As you will observe, I dispense with the screen for Toma also.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a second. But isn't Toma your, servant? Paimon's happy to help and all, but Paimon sure as heck did not sign up to be a servant.
Oh. Paimon, you are most entertaining. Toma is first and foremost my friend, and was so before he ever became my attendant.
Oh, okay Okay then. Ayaka, you seem pretty different out in the open compared to how you are behind the screen. Alright, we can be friends.
Thank you both kindly. Back to the matter at hand. You have now witnessed the pain of those deprived of their visions. What are your feelings on what you have seen? Perhaps in the eyes of a deity such as the almighty Shogun, the lives of those who inhabit the world are inconsequential. Thunders roar, lightnings flash, the winds assault, and the rains descent. All these things take place with no regard for the feelings of the common people. But I believe that surely you understand what they must endure. It seems that perhaps now you can appreciate my feelings on all of this. In which case, perhaps you would be willing to reconsider your stance? You will? Really? Naturally.
Alright, bravo, my lady. You were right all along.
See? I told you she wouldn't reject them. I'd placed my trust in the right person after all. Now then, given that the remainder of our discussion pertains to matters of a more confidential nature, perhaps we could move to the Komori Tea House? We ought not to involve other members of the Yashiro Commission.
Well, here we are again.
Please continue without me. I'll keep watch.
So, what's the deal with this place anyway? What makes it your favorite meeting spot?
This is land that was gifted to the Yashiro Commission by the Shogun. The Kamisato clan has the exclusive right to plan, build, and repair any property on this land. And even to allow or deny access. Such privileges exist due to the Yashiro Commission's role in managing ceremonial affairs. Oftentimes, it is not appropriate to discuss details in front of bystanders.
Oh, Paimon gets it! Gotta keep a bit of mystery, right?
Once the number of ceremonial affairs conducted in the city began to decline, our forebears built a tea house here. Only members of the Yashiro Commission are permitted to come and go as they please.
Makes sense. Perfect place for a secret base.
In any case, we can talk freely here. I presume you have a few questions that you wish to ask me? The almighty Shogun. I've seen her on but only a few occasions, most of them formal ceremonies. She inspires awe, commands respect, and exudes a sense of absolute authority. But as I recall, there was something else about her that struck me even more deeply. It was her almost complete lack of any emotion. In that sense, she appeared to me to be less of a ruler and more of, well, an executive official, I suppose. Focused exclusively on her single goal of implementing eternity, acting accordingly without feeling. The issue is this. For the vast majority of people, the Vision Hunt Decree is something that has no implications whatsoever. After all, it is but a tiny minority of people who receive visions. Moreover, it is not unknown for visions to spark jealousy in others. Because of this, the attitude of most people towards the Vision Hunt Decree is one of indifference.
How can they be like that? Paimon's getting mad.
Nevertheless, in addition to us, there is also the resistance on Watatsumi Island.
Resistance? You mean like an army fighting against the decree?
Yes. Many who have lost or fear losing their visions have rallied together under Sangonomiya on Watatsumi Island to form a resistance group. To say a little more about Sangonomiya, historically, there has always been some conflict between them and the shogunate of Narukami Island due to their different belief systems. But I do wonder whether there may be some other agenda behind their resistance movement, beyond merely fighting the Vision Hunt Decree. Of course! We have tried on numerous occasions. Unfortunately, each time a proposal to repeal the decree arrives at Tenshukaku, it is promptly vetoed by both the Tenryou Commission and the Kanjo Commission, and subsequently scrapped. They invariably adopt a stance of unconditional support for the Shogun's decisions. They have no interest in discussing anything. It almost makes one wonder whether they had a hand in the Shogun's sudden decision to issue the Vision Hunt Decree.
Ooh, Paimon has a question though.
Oh? What would you like to know, Paimon?
Have you got a plan yet to fight the Vision Hunt Decree?
To be honest, we do not.
What?
Please, do not forget that challenging the Vision Hunt Decree is tantamount to challenging a deity. Coming to terms with that is already a difficult step to take.
So what are we gonna do?
Well, for the moment, all we can do is try and reduce the harm that is being caused by this decree. For example, by providing vision bearers with safe refuge, or manufacturing counterfeit visions for them as a contingency measure.
You're telling Paimon that there are people out there who can make fake visions?
Don't underestimate the talents of the craftspeople in Hanamizaka. To the naked eye, their counterfeits are indistinguishable from the genuine article. The problem we are facing. Exactly. I feel the same way. But given mine and Toma's identities as part of the Yashiro Commission, breaking him out of prison would risk dragging down the reputation of the entire Kamisato clan should we be caught. That would only serve to cast suspicion on any future activity we might seek to attempt. By no means do we intend to place the burden of such a task on your shoulders alone. When you are ready, go to Hanamizaka and look for a firework shop run by the Naganohara family. There, you will find someone who can help you.
Speed of light! Incoming! Speed of light!
Still documents that need to be seen by the Commissioner.
This is the reputation on Inazuma, like the one on Liyue and Mondstadt.
Just hand it over. You don't want any trouble with me. If you think your elemental powers are enough to resist the Vision Hunt decree, then you'd better think again. Believe me, you're not the first of your kind we've encountered, and we've seen the same unpleasant outcome time after time. You'd best save yourself the trouble.
Can't you make an exception? I just got this vision. I won't even use it, I promise.
So this is the Vision Hunt decree in action, huh? We can't just sit around and watch things unfold, can we? Psst! Hey, wait! Huh? There's someone trying to get our attention. Come on, this way. What's going on? Can't you see we need to go help? Shh! Quiet! Just sit tight and watch for a moment. Hey, this isn't right, you know. Just because you don't have a vision doesn't mean you can sit back and watch others in trouble. Huh? Hey, wait! You do have a vision! Shh! If you don't keep your voice down, I won't have one much longer.
All right. Here.
Wise choice. All right, let's go.
What should we do now? He's already given up his vision. Doesn't he know what could happen to him after This is your fault. You're the one who stopped us from interfering.
Many thanks, Miss Euthymia. If you hadn't swapped me a fake just now, I'm sure I would have lost it.
No worries. You put on quite the convincing performance.
Oh, so that's what's going on here. And to think Paimon was about to unleash Paimonial wrath on Miss Euthymia. Sorry about that.
Think nothing of it. I could tell from your reaction we were on the same side. You just didn't know it, you know? Oh, right. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Euthymia, the current owner of Naganohara Fireworks. It ain't much, but it's honest work. Great to meet ya.
Practically everyone on Hanamizaka knows Euthymia. She's the queen of the summer festival. Without her and her fireworks, summer on Narukami Island just wouldn't be the same.
Whoa, that's quite the introduction. Paimon loves fireworks. It's nice to meet you.
Stop it, Hanjiro. You'll embarrass me. As for thanking me, you'd be better off thanking Master Masakatsu. He's the one that gave me the fake visions in the first place. His handiwork allowed me to keep my own vision. Whew, I can't even imagine trying to run the business without it. Ugh.
Yes, Master Masakatsu is a good man. It's too bad good people seldom get the recognition they deserve.
Master Masakatsu?
Huh? Do you guys know him too? You don't say! Then it sounds like the Shirasagi Himegimi has a plan. Awesome! I've been thinking about breaking him out too recently. But if I just marched straight in there by myself, I'd probably get Miss Kamisato in a whole heap of trouble. So, what about if I join you instead?
Sure, welcome to the team. Ayaka told us to go look for help at a fireworks shop. She must have meant you.
Seems like I finally got a new job to do. Besides hiding vision bearers in my shop, that is. So, Master Masakatsu is being held at the police station. I've already surveyed the area and found a way in.
Whoa, talk about a reliable source. Seems we've got the right person on our team.
Not bad, huh? Let's go as soon as everyone's ready. Don't worry, Master Masakatsu. We're on our way.
Time to break him out.
Naganohara's fireworks are the best in Inazuma.
I'm all for work-life balance, but I think this is pushing it.
We really run out of exciting cases. Nothing eventful happens.
Oh, this one. It's like a domain. It is a domain. So let's do it.
Now that we're inside, this place is a whole legend.
Come on, this way! As long as we stay quiet, we've got a good chance. I certainly wouldn't want to end up locked away in here. Let's find Master Masakatsu and get out of here. We should split up. I've got a little present to prepare for Master Masakatsu. I'll be right back.
You sure? Alright then. Just be careful not to get caught.
Yes, you too.
Let's light it up!
I must withdraw.
Adventure time!
Talk about a big door! Seems we need to collect something shaped like Magatama in order to open it.
Show me what you've got!
Let's dance.
Ow! Let's light it up! I'm going in!
Useless! Evil conquering! Show me what you've got!
Worthless! Here! Boring!
Bested.
I'll protect us.
Who goes there?
This wall looks a bit odd. Maybe there's some special trick to it.
Let the show begin.
He's gonna seem a lot tougher than usual. Paimon wonders if that armor over there has anything to do with the source of their strength.
Useless!
Let's dance.
Teach me a
Everybody
lesson.
stand back!
Boring!
Soldiers, quick!
Here! Worthless! Worthless!
I need to
Here!
train harder.
Worthless!
I've been bested.
Let the show begin.
Doesn't that Magatama shape look pretty similar to the grooves on the door over there?
Let's dance.
teach me a
Adventure
lesson.
time! Teamwork is dreamwork!
Come on, we can do
Don't
it!
hold back!
Useless!
I dare
Evil
you!
conquering!
Watch your step!
Here!
Best to train harder.
Let the show begin. Let's dance. Incoming! Over there. That must be Master Masakatsu.
Did you really think that little trick of yours could fool us?
Locking you up was just the beginning.
No!
Oh no! Those Tenryou Commission brutes are torturing him!
If we don't come up with a way to break him out fast, then... Euthymia, when did you get back here?
I can't bear to watch. If anything happens to Master Masakatsu, our whole plan will have been—
Hey, you there! What are you doing?
Ah, ma'am.
We were just teaching him a little lesson, that's all.
Huh? Who's that?
That's Kujo Sara, adopted daughter of the Kujo clan of the Tenryo Commission. She's also a general in the Shogun's army. What's she doing here?
Make way, let me have a look at him. I'm sure you're well aware that torture is strictly against military regulations.
Yes, ma'am.
If you are unashamed of such disgraceful action, then you are also unworthy of the Tenryo Commission itself. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, ma'am. It won't happen again.
Oh, Paimon sure wouldn't want to get on her bad side.
Hey, this is our chance. Let's move while they aren't watching Master Masakatsu.
Euthymia, are you sure now's the right time?
Who is that? Quick, go and investigate.
Yes, ma'am.
They're coming! Quick, hide!
Sorry. I didn't mean to. Don't worry, I've got us covered. Time for my little present.
Fireworks!
Huh? Was that an explosion?
It sounded like fireworks.
Quick, let's hurry!
The fireworks were enough to distract them. Maybe more than enough.
Fireworks aren't just for festivals, you know. I was particularly proud of this batch. I decided to.
Whoa!
Euthymia, this is turning into a bit of a fireworks display.
Well, fireworks are my craft after all. Every batch has to be spectacular.
Look, the coast is clear. Now's our chance.
Euthymia, is that you?
Master Masakatsu! Sorry we took so long. Oh, those awful guards.
Come on! We've got no time to lose! They could be back. Oh.
Yes. Leave. Before I let my judgment get the better of me. He's in serious condition. Be sure he gets immediate medical attention. But remember, once he's recovered, it won't be long until I bring him right back.
Well... You can bet we'll do all we can to keep that from happening.
Leave this place.
We're finally out of that creepy...
Yes. Finally, I've made it out of there.
Master Masakatsu, how do you feel? Can you hold on?
Don't worry. I think I can make it to the infirmary without keeling over.
Thank you. All of you. I'll take him to get treated. I'll treat you to a round of drinks once this is all over.
Don't worry about us. Just take care of Master Masakatsu. Good thing we were able to rescue him. Right, Kujusara. Do you think she was making up for how the guards were treating him? It seems as though there are some okay people among the ranks of the Tenryou Commission. Though Paimon would never agree with their actions in the Vision Hunt Decree, of course. How about we go tell Ayaka and the others the good news?
I see. So Kujusara stayed her hand. It would appear she still has some honor to her. I wonder if we should try establishing contact with her. Perhaps we could coax out some information.
Unlikely. Don't forget, Kujusara is also carrying out the Vision Hunt Decree. She obeys the orders of the Raiden Shogun without question. In her eyes, Master Masakatsu is of no threat to the decree. This is why she was so willing to allow his escape. If our true motives were ever divulged, she would act against us without a second thought.
True. Though if you ask me, Master Masakatsu's release is an unexpected blessing. We are now one step closer to victory. And we couldn't have done it without Euthymia and the... You're turning out to be even more reliable than we expected.
Don't mention it.
Indeed. Things may have turned out very differently this time without the help of the Traveler. But if we wish to mount any sizable resistance against the Vision Hunt Decree, there is still much to be done. It is time we make ready our next set of plans.
There's no need to rush, my lady. Things seem to have taken a turn for the better, at least. Not only have we rescued Master Masakatsu, but our list of allies appears to be growing. Yes, which reminds me. The Tenryou Commission seems to be making preparations for a celebration. They call it a ceremony of sorts, and the number of samurai out enforcing the Vision Hunt Decree seems to be waning. The days ahead may be more peaceful than usual.
A ceremony, you say? Why would such a task be left to the Tenryou Commission?
I don't know, but I'm sure it has nothing to do with us. Anyway, with the Tenryou Commission busy with preparations, we should have a little more breathing room than usual.
You do present a good point. Being in a constant state of alert will only tire us further. Perhaps a period of rest is in order. Toma, what would you suggest?
I'd say a celebratory feast is in order. Might I suggest an evening of hot pot together? Funny enough, I learned a new hot pot game recently. I'm sure you'll find it quite amusing.
A hot pot game? What's that? Well, as long as it has to do with eating.
Simply put, every person prepares an ingredient to add to the hot pot. Once the meal begins, we add all the ingredients together. Then we take it in turns to close our eyes, pick an ingredient out of the pot, taste it, and guess whose ingredient it was. Anyone who guesses correctly can go again, and whoever finishes the meal with the most points is declared the winner. Tradition even has it that the winner receives blessings from the god of hot pot. Don't you think it sounds like fun? I've been wanting to give it a try. In fact, I've already got my ingredients prepared.
You really do want to play, huh? Well, sounds like we've got our work cut out for us. Time to gather some ingredients. But what should we choose? Let's see what we've got here. Fresh fish fillets, shrimp, bamboo shoots. Nice! You can't go wrong with these. Paimon never thought we'd be the only ones to actually put anything edible into the pot. Don't go wasting the rest now. This was possibly the scariest looking hot pot Paimon's ever seen. Fortunately, Toma ended up eating all the weird stuff.
Yeah, you can say that again. But hey, at least I got the most points. Oh, wait a moment. That doesn't feel good.
I'm afraid it's your own fault for adding all those strange ingredients, Toma. The soup flavor wasn't quite the same afterwards. Even with a traveler's normal ingredients, I still couldn't guess any of them correctly.
But weren't you the one who added those little cakes, Ayaka? I think the traveler ended up eating one. Boiling cakes in hot pot? Ugh. Think of the texture.
I must apologize. To be perfectly honest, I thought the cakes would be a tasty addition.
Uh-oh. I'm definitely not okay. I need to lie down. I feel like a new man.
You know, Toma, all you had to do was guess wrong on purpose and it would have been someone else's turn. Talk about being competitive.
Guess I've been feeling unlucky recently and wanted the god of hot pot's blessing. Perhaps I did get a little carried away. Still, I couldn't be beaten at my own game first time around. I think my luck has already taken a turn for the better. I can sense it. So without further ado, I hereby declare that the winner of today's Hot Pot Challenge is... me.
Oh, brother.
Good effort, team. Another important job taken care of. Next on the agenda, some well-earned rest and relaxation.
Yes. If the Tenryou Commission truly is as busy with preparations as Toma claims, then some rest would be a welcome change of pace. And with the extra time, there are some other matters I wish to attend to.
Let's all take some much-needed time off. After a few days' rest, we'll reconvene at the Komori Tea House and discuss our next operation. Downtime is hard to come by these days, so be sure to make the most of it. I'll tidy things up here and start thinking about our ingredients for our next round.
There's gonna be a sequel?
Sure, why not? We should play again now that everyone knows the rules. I'll see you all later.
Bye, Toma! Seems we won't need to be visiting the Komori Tea House for a while. Why don't we go explore some other places?
So finally, I finished the quest. Oh, there is another quest. It's another quest. The Infinite Quest.
Books were more interesting.
Genshin Impact. What is this? All this quest? Impossible.
Delicious tea.
The books were more interesting in the past. Interesting in the past. Interesting in the past.
What delicious tea.
Where do we go from here? What's the plan?
Traveler, Paimon! Hold on!
Huh? Ayaka?
Something has come up, and I would like to request your assistance. But you ought not be nervous. This is not coming from the Yashiro Commission or the Kamisato clan. It is my own individual request.
Individual request? You mean personal stuff?
Correct. It concerns my mother. This may seem a little sudden, but in my view, you are the only person I can entrust this. A few days ago, I was sorting through some old family belongings when I found a notebook that belonged to my mother. She wrote about all kinds of things, mostly of little consequence. But what drew my attention was a name. It is one that I have never heard before, so the fact that she mentions it so frequently, it makes it difficult for me to ignore.
Probably your mom's best buddy, right?
Never. And although my mother and father passed away many years ago, both my brother and I are familiar with the vast majority of their acquaintances. So, I am very curious about this mysterious individual. I would very much like to meet them. According to the notebook, their name is Tsubaki. This seems to have been someone very important to my mother. Someone with a lot of personality, who liked to have fun.
Paimon thinks it sounds like a girl's name.
That's what I thought too.
So what do you want us to do? Do you need us to find her for—
No. Her address is given in the notebook. We can head straight there. I wanted you to assist me with the preparation of greeting gift. Please keep everything I have told you in strict confidence. The proper course of action would be to involve my brother and visit her together. But he is terribly busy at present, and on a more selfish note, I don't wish to involve anybody else from Inazuma in this matter. Exactly. That, and you are also a kind, well-mannered person with a genuine concern for other people. Not to mention trustworthy. I would not feel comfortable with anyone else in this situation.
You can count on us! We've done greeting gifts before, so we should be able to help. In terms of payment, just treat us to some delicious food and we'll be more than happy.
Wonderful! In fact, I was hoping to take this opportunity to show you both around. If you don't mind, of course.
Oh, we don't mind. We don't mind at all. Do we?
Thank you kindly. Shall we head off then? Ogura Textiles and Kimonos is our first stop.
All right, sounds great.
What kind of tea is this?
My apologies. Komori.
Let's go with the quest suggested by a viewer. I hope I can manage in half an hour, otherwise it's too late here.
My apologies. Komori Tea House only accepts guests of sufficient status. Please don't enter without.
We're looking for the Great Muchina Yokai!
Do you know where it lives? Great Muchina Yokai? What's that?
Huh? You've never heard of it? It's a sneaky monster that goes around playing tricks on people. It's got magic powers and can even shapeshift into anything. At one time, the Great Muchina Yokai stole some rice from our house. And this other time, it pushed my dad into the river.
Sounds like a very naughty little monster. 'Cause we finally found out how to chase it away.
My dad said that the Great Muchina Yokai likes to play tricks on people who stay out all the time and don't come home when they're supposed to. So all we need to do is chase it away. Then we can come out and play whenever we want.
This monster sounds scary, though. Aren't you guys afraid? Surely your parents must be worried about you.
Oh, not really. I told my dad that I was gonna find the great Mujina yokai with some friends, and he didn't even say anything.
So we think it must be weak right now. It's probably hiding away so it can rest.
Yeah, so as long as we get home before it gets its strength back, we'll be safe.
Something sounds very strange about all this, but Paimon can't say exactly what it is. Yeah, Paimon feels like the Great Mujina Yokai is one of those storybook monsters that doesn't exist in the real world. We should tell them so they don't waste all their time looking for it. Oh, children, listen up. There's no need to go looking for the Great Mujina Yokai, all right? Because it isn't real.
Huh? No way. That's impossible. My dad wouldn't lie to me.
Your folks are just worried about you is all. They don't want you wandering too far from home because it's too dangerous.
That's not true. The Great Mujina Yokai is definitely...
Yeah! Yoimiya's even making some weapons for us. And then she's gonna show us how to blow it up!
Yoimiya, huh? Wait, as in Firework's prison break, Yoimiya?
We told her all about the Great Mujina Yokai. She said we shouldn't be scared of it. We should learn how to chase it away instead.
We've been waiting for ages now. And finally, Yoimiya said that today's the day!
Yoimiya plays with us and tells us stories all the time. She wouldn't tell a lie.
But...
Come on, let's get out of here and go find Yoimiya.
Wait, hold on, don't go! They didn't seem to take that very well. But Paimon was only trying to look out for them. Who knows what Yoimiya's got to do with this? Let's follow the kids and see what's going on.
Don't blink!
Let the show begin.
Worthless! You know a thing or two. Disappear! More! Worthless!
Let's dance.
Cheer up, guys. Don't be so down. She was only joking back there. How could the Great Mujina Yokai not exist, huh?
But we've never seen it for ourselves.
That's because the Great Mujina Yokai is extra powerful. And that's exactly why I need your help, isn't it? It's okay. Don't be discouraged. Hey, remember, if you want to be a hero, you gotta have patience. And wisdom, too. Even if you can't find it right now, it'll definitely show up before the fireworks show starts. No matter how powerful the great Mujina yokai might be, it's no match for my specially made fireworks. Just light them up and you'll scare it off no problem. It's up to you guys to protect your homes, your crops, and your folks.
Got it. Thanks, Miss Euthymia. We'll try and be more patient.
Oh, yeah, hold up a sec. I have a few slips of paper for you guys, one each. Remember to give it to your parents and tell them to keep it safe. Just tell them it's from Euthymia. They'll know what it's about.
Okay, thank you, Euthymia. We're gonna go back now.
Oh, thanks, Euthymia. Come play with us soon. Sure thing, will do. Take care on the way back, and I'll see you later. So it was you guys. I guessed as much from the way the kids described you. No worries, though. I'm not blaming you. The Great Mujina Yokai is pretty popular with the kids, so of course they're gonna get upset if someone tries to tell them it doesn't exist.
Okay, but it definitely doesn't exist, right?
Yeah, the first time I heard about it, I knew straight away that it was probably something the parents had come up with to stop the kids from running off all the time. But when the kids asked me about it, I didn't want to break it to them. I just told them that it looks cute and likes to play pranks and doesn't hurt people. So, I guess now the kids' impression of the Great Mujina Yokai is mostly influenced by me.
Huh. So in a way, this monster is all a product of your creativity?
Maybe so. In any case, I'm not gonna be the one who exposes it. Sure, it's likely that the parents just wanted to stop the kids from staying out all the time. But they could have easily had other reasons too. If I just go ahead and tell them that the Great Mujina Yokai doesn't exist without knowing the full story, then who knows? Besides, they're just kids. They should be allowed to believe it if it makes them happy. That's more important to them than questioning what's real and what isn't. Heck, I entertain my fair share of fantasies too. The fire diamond that spins around and shoots out lights that are all the colors of the rainbow. Ooh, the mist spirits that live far off in the mountains and guide you to fairyland if you can find them. I know that they don't really exist, but I still enjoy believing in them. If someone came up to me and started telling me to stop being so stupid, they don't exist, I'd give them the evil eyes and tell them to get the heck out of my face because it's just so annoying. Right? So what if it's made up? It's also really awesome and kind of magical. So it's not up to anyone else to tell me what's what. The things we believed and the experiences we had when we were young turn into our priceless treasures as we grow up. When you were kids, surely you guys believed in things like heroes who slew dragons and sacred swords that cut through darkness. It's the same thing. If we tear apart these kids' fairy tales now, what else do we have to tell them? That Inazuma's locked down? All the grim tales of the Vision Hunt decree? I think it's a bit too early for all of that.
Yeah! Oh, way too early, for sure!
Whether you understood me or not, don't you worry. I'll take care of the kids and make sure they stay safe. Okay, it's about time I headed back. The Naganohara Fireworks show is just around the corner, and there's still a lot of things to get ready.
Naganohara Fireworks show?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's why our name is on the event. It's well known throughout Inazuma. Oh, on the subject, are you busy these days? If not, then you should totally come along. I'll prepare an extra pretty firework just for you. In that case, come with me to Naganohara. We'll go see my bots. There's still a few fireworks to finish off before the show. Inazuma is home to the Yai Publishing House, and a lot of people who like to A lot of them have bad endings, though. Like, the fire diamond will get put in a rich person's gallery where it will never be ignited again. Or someone will see the mist spirit and not manage to catch it, but because they angered it, it'll never show itself again. The hero who slays the dragon becomes the next dragon. The secret. Hey, Pups, I'm back!
The fireworks show is almost upon us, and the fireworks for each family are almost ready. Oh, new faces? Who are these two? Friends or customer?
A bit of both, actually. They arrived in Inazuma just recently. Can't let them miss out on a fireworks show after coming all this way, can we?
Well, either way, come on in and have a seat. And I, Naganahara Ryunosuke, will tell you all about the long history of the Naganahara.
That can wait. Pops, I need to ask you about something.
A long, long time ago.
Pops has started telling his stories again. Sorry about this. Ever since Pops had his accident, his ears don't work too well.
Really? But for a moment there, it almost seemed like you were having a coherent conversation.
Much, much later, people eventually realized that if you grind certain materials into dust, they burn with many beautiful colors.
Pops, wait!
Huh? What's that?
Did they deliver those firework materials that we ordered yet?
Oh! Yesterday's fireworks have all been delivered. So have the ones from the day before yesterday.
No, Pops, I meant the materials. The materials that we ordered. They should have arrived today.
Ah, today's fireworks are almost ready too. Don't you worry. Your old man's skills are still as sharp as ever.
No, Pops, the materials. The raw materials for making fireworks.
Sorry?
Materials!
Oh, the materials!
Yes, the materials! Sorry, Paimon got all excited because he finally got the message across.
The materials aren't here yet. The couriers did come over to explain why, but, well, I think they did, but I couldn't quite hear what they were saying.
No worries. As long as we know, that's fine. We can just make them later. Don't forget to take the goods in when they deliver them, okay, Pops?
Of course. Leave it to me.
Oh, sorry if we were a little loud. It's always the way, though. It's like that every time I need to ask Pop something. That's my Pops. He's a good person, all right. Everyone around here respects him. Because my Pops is deaf, he never argues with anyone and never contradicts them. He just listens cheerfully. When I was little, I thought it was because he really understood me and agreed with whatever I had to say. So I'd tell my Pops everything. Eventually, I realized that the reason he was like that was that he's deaf. But I still tell him stories every day.
Huh? Why would you do that?
It just makes me happy to see him smile. And it keeps him from being lonely, right? Anyway, more importantly right now, the fireworks show is right around the corner and the materials still haven't arrived. We need to think of an alternative.
Euthymia? Is that you?
Oh, you scared me there! I thought I told you to be more careful before you speak.
Sorry.
Hold on. I'm coming over. No one's looking. Okay, you can come out now. Come around the side. We're lucky that no one from the Tenryo Commission was around. Otherwise, we'd all be in big trouble.
Sorry, I guess I was a little rash, but when I heard you come back, I just...
Don't worry, Sakujiro. So far, at least, everything is going according to plan. We're going to look for firework materials shortly. While we're out, we'll sort out the boat situation for you, as promised.
Thank you for all your help.
He's one of our old customers. He came back to Inazuma from the outside world not long ago. While he was smuggling himself in, the Tenryo Commission found him and put out a warrant for his arrest.
An arrest warrant?
Shh! Keep it down! We don't want to draw any unwanted attention. If Sakujiro was caught, there's no knowing what crimes they could charge him with. All we can do is find him a boat and send him out of Inazuma again. Yeah, we know it's going to be dangerous, but there aren't many other options left.
What if the boat surprises. Drowning is really scary. If things are this bad, couldn't you just not come back in the first place?
Well, there's something I felt I had to do. But as soon as I got back, I started hearing about all these unbelievable changes. I had made my mind up originally, but now I'm not sure anymore. I didn't want to cause any trouble for Euthymia or Mr. Ryunosuke, but I'm very grateful to them for taking me in.
Hey, no worries. You're more than welcome. Remember what I said? As long as you've got that little piece of paper, you'll always be a valued customer of the Naganohara's.
Little piece of paper?
Yep, the same paper slips as the one I gave to the kids earlier. Whenever a customer orders fireworks for a commemorative event, we always include a little paper slip with the goods. Only people from inside my family can understand what's written on it. It's the recipe for the fireworks they ordered. If someone shows a Naganohara that paper slip, we guarantee we can make the exact same firework as the original one they purchased, whether it's 10 or even 100 years later.
Wow, that is so...
It's a family tradition. All our regular customers know about this.
The slip I have is from back when my parents ordered fireworks from Mr. Ryunosuke. Now that I think about it, it must be nearly 20 years ago. I would have thought that things would turn out the way they have.
It'll be fine. Escaping in a boat is just a last resort for if there's no other way. I'll still try and come up with a different solution, because it'd be much better if you could stay in Inazuma. Whatever their reasons might be, if our customers come to us looking for help, we're not about to leave them high and dry.
Thank you. This way, I still have some time to consider my options.
All right. Well, let's not stay out here in the open for too long. Hurry up and get back inside. I'll let you know as soon as I have an update for you.
All right. I'll leave it to you then, I guess.
It's a shame. They still wouldn't give him a permit, even though he was born and raised in Inazuma. Speaking of, you guys only got here recently. How did you manage to get a permit?
Even then, we only got through thanks to some help from Miss Hiragi Chisato of the Kanjo Commission.
I see. So you had big shots helping you. I guess that won't be of much help to Sakujiro. I just wish the commissions could be a little bit more flexible. I bet nowhere else you've been is quite like Inazuma, huh? Well, no matter what, I have to find a way to help him. I'm sorry. I invited you to come watch the fireworks, but now I have to run a few errands. You don't have to join me if you don't want to. I can go sort out the firework materials in the boat by myself. And then you can come meet me back at the house later. Oh, cool! Then let's start with Sakujiro's boat. We can chat along the way. Oh yeah! If it's fine with you, can I ask how you two first met?
Thank you for helping me with the escape plan. I wish I wasn't so indecisive.
Nothing. I'm just quite... If my pops had a person like you around, his being deaf wouldn't hold things up all the time. Why do you look so excited?
Because...
Koichi, I'm here! How is the boat coming along?
Yeah, it's, all right, I guess. I was questioned, though. Wait, should we really be talking about this in front of them?
Oh, don't worry, they're my friends. You can trust them. They came with me to check up on the boat.
Yeah! You could say we're all in the same boat here!
Oh, I see. Sorry, I didn't mean to doubt you. I'm just being cautious. The boat is ready, but I'll have to be discreet moving it here.
Huh? Why is that?
Because of the Sokoku decree, the Tenryo Commission is really suspicious of any kind of seaborne vessel. Even the smallest ones, they'll stop and interrogate us, demanding to know what we plan on doing with it. It's a real nuisance.
I understand. I'm sorry for dragging you into this mess.
Don't be silly. I'm actually happy you came to me for help. I've always come to you for fireworks, and again this time. So just consider this my way of saying Right, I'll go fetch the boat now. I should be back shortly.
Thank you. Oh, if it's on the way, you can always pick up your fireworks from my house. Everything was made in strict accordance with what was on the paper slip. You won't find the slightest thing wrong with them.
All right, then. The fireworks show will be starting soon, won't it? You should make sure your new friends get to see it. It's an Inazuma tradition after all.
Yep, that's the plan. Oh, you know what? You should tell them about your past. About the first time you ordered fireworks for my family.
That's a long story, actually. Where do I start? Maybe I'll come back to that after moving the boat here.
Oh, right, yeah. Got caught up in the conversation there.
Okay, well, I'll leave you to it for now and meet you back here later.
Lucky you reminded me. Otherwise, I would have ended up chatting. I've been so busy with the fireworks business these past few days that I haven't had a moment to stop and chat with anyone. It's killing me. Of course, Pops is happy to listen to me chatter away, but because he can hardly hear anything, it's difficult to get an interesting reaction from him. And I'm doing it again, aren't I? What I meant to say was, while Koichi is bringing the boat here, we should try to find some firework material. I need to make fireworks not just for you guys, but for those kids and Sakajiro as well. We're missing a lot. It'll be fine. It's actually like this every year. There's always a bunch of extra orders to slot in here and there. When people want fireworks, it's always because they have something to commemorate. And if they miss the chance, they might never get another one. So, no matter how busy I am, I'm always happy to take their orders.
So, what you're trying to say is that you enjoy the work?
Oh, I do! I really do! Being born into a family of fireworks makers, I feel like since I was a kid, I've been obsessed with watching things go boom! And then seeing all the lights and colors and... But what I really wanted to say was, don't worry about me. It'll all be fine. Sorry. It's just that good conversation can be as fleeting as fireworks sometimes, you know? So, when I'm in the mood and I've got a lot to say, I just have to get all out there in one go and leave no regrets. Let's head to the city. I think I'll try my luck with some people that I know.
Question! Doesn't it hurt your voice talking all the time?
It can get uncomfortable, I guess, but what else would I be using my voice for?
Huh, you kinda have a point.
Ad Astra Abyssosk. Welcome to the Adventurous Guild.
Here we are. Hello, Morihiko. How's business these days?
Euthymia, there you are. I thought you might show up. Ha, no need to beat around the bush. You're here for the fireworks materials, I assume. I put a batch aside just for you. It'll definitely be enough.
Huh? Really? How did you—
Because a fireworks show is coming up. And that usually means you'll be running all over the place trying to get your hands on some last-minute material. I've come to expect it now. There's always a few extras unaccounted for, eh?
Oh, I'm so sorry for bothering you every time.
Ah, come on now. You know I didn't mean it like that. I'd sooner have my business go under than turn down one of your requests. What about you two? Are you the ones needing some fireworks made? It's no trouble at all, my once when I had an argument with my son, Euthymia was the one who came and calmed him down. I'm hopeless at communicating with him. If it wasn't for Euthymia, who knows? He probably would have run away by now.
Nah, he was never gonna come to that. He's a sensitive kid and he cares a lot about your feelings. It's just, he doesn't know how to express it. Maybe if you turn that frown upside down once in a while, he might feel more at ease.
Yeah, I guess I'm probably too serious around him. Which is strange, because I don't think I'm anything like that when I'm talking—
Don't worry about it. No one's perfect. If you have any more trouble in the future, just come to me. Even if it's not fireworks related, I'll happily oblige. Customers come first. Always.
All right then. Everyone's always saying what a good kid you are. Your father must be very proud of you. Go ahead and take the ore, by the way. It's on the house.
Oh, no you don't! That's out of the question!
Don't worry. Just take it as a token of my gratitude.
Gratitude won't pay your bills, though. Don't do this to me. Can't we just play by normal business rules here?
I already said it's fine. Please, just take it. Surely you've got a load of other things you need to get done today.
Well, how about this then? I'll record this in my notebook, and we can consider it a down payment against any fireworks you want to purchase in the future.
There's no convincing you, is— All right then, if you insist. Pass on my regards to your dad. Tell him Morihiko wishes him health and happiness.
Will do. You look after yourself as well. Don't push yourself too hard. You don't want to make yourself ill again.
Everyone seems to really like you, Euthymia.
You're not the first person to say that. In fact, some people think I'll literally do any favor they ask me to. When that happens, I say to them, hey, this is a fireworks store. We do firework. But they don't always listen, so it can't be helped. But also, it's not really a big deal. Anyway, we've got all the materials we need now, so that solves that problem. Next, we just need to go find someone to process them. Hajime, Mr. Aminoma, it's me!
Ah, Euthymia. If I'm not mistaken, you must be here for some firework materials.
Seems like everyone knows how busy Euthymia gets leading—
I'm very sorry. Would you be able to wait for a while? I have quite a backlog of weapons orders right now.
No worry. Oh, wait, actually, yeah, that could be a problem. Some worries. How about this? Do you need a hand? As long as we can get through your orders, you can help me process my ore.
That will depend on my master.
Oh, you don't mind, do you, Mr. Aminoma? As you know, it's not long now until the Naganohara Fireworks show starts. There's still a lot of fireworks left to make, if I don't finish them on time.
Talkative as ever, I see. Dear child, the essence of Amenoma art is patience and focus. When the mind is disturbed, it will show in the blade that is forged. If you badger Hajime like this, you will only succeed in disrupting his concentration.
But this is a special circumstance, surely! The Naganohara Fireworks show is right around the corner.
So give me your ore, and I will process it for you.
Huh? Master, you mean you'll do the work personally?
Is that so surprising? It is, after all, the only option.
Thank you for helping out, Mr. Aminoma.
You're quite welcome. The Naganohara Fireworks show is an important event. This I know well. In addition to this, I am indebted to Ryunosuke for all the business he has given me. But Euthymia, you should plan things more carefully in the future. Do not rush everything at the last minute.
I'll try my best. In the future, I'll get some extra materials in to cover any unexpected changes of plan late in the day.
Though for you, dear child, no matter how much you prepare in advance, it may never be enough. Excuse me. I will be back shortly.
Wow, Mr. Amenoma! Just look at the shape and size of these grains! It's beautiful! I'm at a loss for words. It's been a while since I've seen you take up your tools, but it looks like your craft hasn't degraded one bit.
Of course. I have studied these techniques my whole life. They are impossible for me to forget.
So have Amenoma Art and Naganohara Fireworks been working together for a long time already?
Back in the day, it was my master, and Ryunosuke's father. The people may have changed from one generation to another, but the ingredients required to make fireworks have remained the same. Hajime, in the future, this will be up to you.
I know.
All right, I won't bother you guys any longer. Oh, remember to come and watch the fireworks. Okay, time to head off. Koichi probably isn't back just yet, but let's go wait for him. Just as I thought, he isn't back yet. But not to worry, because actually, I've been hoping for a chance to have a nice long chat with you. Oh, sorry for dragging you with me everywhere. Everyone's been so good to me, though. It's all gone really smoothly.
Feels like Paimon has barely spoken a word this whole trip.
I felt like I was neglecting you guys, so I wanted to find an opportunity. When we first met, I was in a hurry. We didn't have the chance to sit down and have a proper chat. You guys are travelers, right? So, where else did you go before coming to Inazuma? Ooh, sounds great! I heard they pretty much have no rules over there, right? So people are free to live their life however they want, doing whatever makes them happy. My pops actually received a gift from one of his old customers over there. It was from the winery or something.
Dawn Winery! Their dandelion wine is super famous.
Yes, that's the one. I remember when he drank it. I've never seen him enjoy a bottle of wine so much in his life. He was telling me all night about how good it tasted. My friend once said to me that only people with a strong will and a clear purpose decide to go traveling. Maybe it's to see a certain view or to fulfill a certain wish. So, what made you guys embark on your treacherous journey to Inazuma?
And we're looking for answers from the gods, too.
You were separated from your family because of a god? Oh, that must be really tough. I get it. Well, if that's how it is, then that's how it is. You know, I was going to ask if you guys wanted to stay here in Inazuma. Unlike the outside world, what Inazuma seeks is eternity. In other words, a state of tranquility where very little ever changes. The advantage of that is that if you're ever tired from your journey, Inazuma's a great place to come and rest. Let me put it this way. I was just worried that you might be getting weary. If you keep pressing on in that state, you might start to lose sight of the things that made you want to start your journey in the first place.
Sometimes. That's also just how it is.
When you're exhausted, everything becomes an uphill struggle, even trying to have fun. You won't be able to enjoy yourself if you're too... An adventurer friend of mine once told me that if you're too focused on reaching the end of the race, you'll miss a lot of opportunities and precious moments to be had along the way. Don't worry, though. I'm sure I can think of some way to get you feeling relaxed and happy. And you're here now, so even if you're gonna leave eventually, I want to make sure you at least leave with fond memories. Who knows? Once you're reunited with your family, maybe you'll find Inazuma the right kind of place to call home. I already have an idea of the color and type of fireworks I want to give you guys. I'll keep it a secret for now, though.
Euthymia, I'm back. Sorry to keep you waiting. Let's head over to the boat. Or, did you want to keep chatting? Okay, good. Let's go then. Just act naturally, though. We don't want to raise any suspicion.
If it can withstand the storms out on the ocean, it must be super sturdy.
Absolutely. Rest assured that the quality is guaranteed.
Too small.
Can't be helped, I'm afraid. This is the biggest and sturdiest boat that I can provide. It's built from the finest Inazuman timber. Still, I'll be the first to admit that if he's planning to ride this into the storm, it's going to be exceedingly dangerous.
I'm also hoping Sakura won't have to use it. It's just there as a last resort. I gotta say though, Koichi, it feels like your craft has improved once again.
I'm not the one you should be praising. It's all thanks to the guys who kindly pitched in. To avoid detection, we each worked on our own materials separately, then assembled them secretly in the night. This is the largest we could afford to build. Any bigger and there's no way it would pass the Tenryou Commission's inspection.
Let's store the boat here for now then. I'll fill Sakura in when I get back. He'll need to make some preparations before setting sail.
Uh-oh. Paimon feels really worried all of a sudden. Doesn't helping Sakura make you a collaborator in the eyes of the Tenryou?
Maybe it does, but I knew what I was getting into from the moment I agreed to help him. My family has pretty good connections with the Yashiro Commission. We work very closely with them, and whenever there's a national event of any sort, the other two commissions come to us too. As long as I'm polite and respectful and don't cause a fuss, they won't look to cause trouble for me either. And anyway, to your point about collaboration, you've been helping out too.
That's true. This was all a collaborative effort. Wait! Oh no!
Ah, so you're seasoned crooks already, eh? Don't know what I was worried about then. Anyway, thanks for everything, Koichi. And your fireworks are ready, so just go pick them up from my house whenever you want. While you're there, you can get my pops to settle the boat construction fees.
Oh, don't worry about paying anything. Third Sis would be sure to scold me if she found out I'd taken Mora from the Naganoharas.
Who's Third Sis?
Oh, let me explain this one. It's a story my pops told me. There used to be a thriving merchants guild in Inazuma. It got really prosperous. At one point, there were a dozen or so kids born around the same time to the families of the guild. They all grew up together, each of them learning their respective family's business. They were a tightly knit group of friends. But eventually, they all grew up and decided they each wanted to go into business themselves. It was inevitable that business would send them all to different corners of the world, and that they'd have far less opportunity to see each other in.
That's right. Just before we went our separate ways, the eldest of the group suggested that we should all go watch some fireworks together one last time.
They were all very ambitious types, and each had their own knack for doing business. One by one, they left, until Koichi was the only one of them remaining in Inazuma. After that, he hardly saw them. But whenever one of them did come back to visit, Fireworks would always be involved.
Yeah, no matter how close you and your friends are, there's always gonna be some distance after being separated for a long time. But as soon as the fireworks lit up the sky, it'd instantly take us right back to our childhood, and we'd be chatting away like in the old days. To us, those memories are eternal.
Oh, so this is what you meant when you were talking about commemorating.
Yep, that's exactly right. That's why I can't let people down when they're counting on me for their fireworks. Anyway, I need to go update Sakujiro. See you, Koichi. Thanks again for your help.
Yeah, I should get out of here too. I don't want to get caught red-handed.
Okay, story time. So, whenever Koichi... But there are so many of them in that friendship group, and I don't remember anything from that age anyway, so I never have a clue who they are. One time, he shows up with another one of his friends, and the friend asks me if I remembered him. So I'm like, yes, I do! You held me once when I was just a baby. Koichi just bursts out laughing and says, actually, this is... The boat is ready and waiting. I'll mark the location for you on the map. Before you leave, I recommend that you pack some food and water. You can never be too prepared.
After how much effort it took to get back in, it's hard to convince myself to leave again. Especially when I'll be going up against the stormy ocean on a tiny little boat. My prospects don't look great.
Well, they won't look much better if you get caught by the Tenryou Commission. I'm afraid that sooner or later they are going to find you here. Time is starting to run out.
I'm sorry. I'll make sure to get out of here before they come. I promise I won't cause you and your family any more trouble.
I didn't mean it like that. If we ever ran into any problems, I'm sure I'd figure something out. But if the Tenryou Commission does catch up to you, then make a run for the boat.
Okay, I won't let them catch me. But... no, I guess this whole trip was a waste in the end.
Why did you want to come back to Inazuma anyway? Is there something you wanted to...
I didn't used to like this place at all. That's why I left. But looking back on things now, I was really just running away from my responsibility. Once I started to realize that, I got restless. I couldn't stop thinking about the people and the things I'd left behind. So I... forget it. What does it matter now? It's too late anyway. I originally wanted to make up for all my regrets, but instead, I found myself in the situation I'm in now.
What a pity.
Talk to us about it!
If only there was no Sakoku decree, huh? Anyway, don't worry. We're not going to bother you about it. We'll keep trying to buy you as much time as possible until you reach your final decision. The Tenryou Commission. If only they weren't so overzealous, there might be a... Oh, that's right! That elderly couple, old customers of ours. Their son's in the Tenryou Commission, isn't he? Yeah, quite high up as well. That's it. I'll go talk to them. Maybe they can do something.
Are you sure they won't just report me instead?
Oh, don't worry about that. They're really nice people. I know them well. They won't cause us any... All right. You should get back indoors, Sakujiro. We'll be back in no time at all. Okay, let's go. Wait, hang on. What about the fireworks? All those materials? There's so many orders to finish. Pots? Pots? No, never mind. I know. I'll write him a note telling him to sort out the fireworks.
Ahem! Why did you cut Paimon off earlier?
Because what he needs isn't an answer. Just time.
Those memories. So dark.
Well, if it isn't Euthymia. Come on in, dear. Come and take a seat. Are these two your friends?
Yes, they're travelers from afar. Outsiders have a very difficult time getting into Inazuma nowadays.
Indeed, these are unprecedented times. But seeing as they came all this way, we locals should give them a warm welcome.
Oh, before I forget, I brought the fireworks that you ordered.
Oh, thank you, dear. Your family is so good to us every year. First your father, and now you. I wonder if I'll still be around to see the next heir of Naganahara Fire.
Of course you will. You're both in great health. Don't say things like that. It's bad luck.
We aren't as young as we once were, though. The body knows it. It used to be that I could spend all day working the land, carrying water back and forth. But now, even a moment of light work leaves me with all sorts of aches and pains. I wanted to do some weeding yesterday, but as soon as I bent down to get started, I suddenly felt that if I went any further, I wouldn't be able to get back up again.
No worries. Say no more. We'll handle it.
No, no, no. We can't be putting you to work when you're a guest in our home. I'll just go fetch the tea and some snacks, and then we'll continue our conversation.
It's fine. It's not like it's the first time I've helped you with chores. I just haven't had much time recently with the fireworks show coming up. But once that's out of the way, I'll be sure to come by more often.
It's no trouble, really. We don't mind helping.
Oh, you're such good kids. As for mine, he's all grown up now. Hasn't found anyone yet. And he doesn't visit very often. If you're quite sure it's no trouble, then I have some pickled radish here. Would you mind delivering it to Satoru on the other side of the village?
Sure. It won't take us a moment. The old folks aren't very mobile, so come on, let's help them out. We'll get rid of the weeds first, and then deliver the...
Boring!
Yeah, you got it! And that should just about do it. Satoru is on the other side of the village. Let's go see him now. Hey, Satoru. How have you been? Keeping well?
Yeah, same as usual. Not much has changed. You're looking full of life.
All thanks to the support of our loyal customers. The family business just keeps getting better, and we sold some fireworks to Liu a while back, and word is they were a real hit. So it looks like we'll be getting more business from over there in the future.
That must mean a lot more work for you, though. Are you sure you and Mr. Ryunosuke can manage? If it gets too much, don't forget, you can always ask me for help.
We should be fine. I think we can cope. Oh, yeah. This is some pickled radish from Mrs.
Oh, wow, thank you so much. But then I tried some of Mrs. Imatani's homemade stuff and I couldn't get enough of it.
Speaking of your family, how's everyone doing?
They're doing well. We have the occasional heated argument, but I guess being close to family is better than never getting to see them. Even if it does mean putting up with some Now, Mr. and Mrs. Imatani seem to have a great relationship. But still, they must get lonely with their child never visiting.
Huh, they didn't seem that way to me. I think they're just used to it. You make a good point, though. I should drop by more often in the future. That way, they won't get so bored.
Oh, I'm sure they'd love that. As would all of us in Konda Village. You're always welcome here.
Thank you! Now that we finished all the chores, it's time to talk to the Imatanis about Sakujiro.
That was quick. Young people are...
Younger people have bundles of energy, and older people have a wealth of wisdom. Each have their strengths.
Speaking of youth, do you know what? It's been 50 years that...
Oh, so it has. Goodness, how the time flies. You barely notice as the years go by, but then suddenly 50 years have passed.
50 years since what?
Well, if you must know, it was 50 years ago, back in the days when this young lady was still trying to win me over.
Oh, stop trying to impress them. We both know you were the one who was hopelessly smitten and desperately trying to win my affection.
Well, maybe you're right. 50 years ago, I proposed to my wife at the Naganahara Fireworks show. We've been together ever since. To tell the truth, I was still a little uncertain. I wasn't sure what I was doing when I walked into the Naganahara's shop and ordered my firework. Even as it was rising up into the sky, I still had no clue what I was going to say. But then it exploded, the sky lit up. I looked back at her and saw her eyes twinkling in the light of the firework. Before I knew what was happening, apparently, I'd already said it. And, well, she'd said yes.
50 years. In some ways, it's a long time. In others, it's no time at all. Really, it's just a number. But 50 years of being together? Now that is something worth commemorating.
I had no idea it was your 50th anniversary! If I'd known, I would have made some extra fancy fireworks just for you.
Oh no, it's quite all right. We always set off the same firework every year. It wouldn't be the same without it. Seeing that firework go off takes us right back to those days. Even at this...
Aw, what a great relationship.
Enough about us, though. Euthymia, aren't you busy with the fireworks show coming up? Was there something you needed to discuss?
Yeah, it's a difficult thing to talk about, but here goes.
Sakujiro. So he came back.
Huh? You know him?
He was our boy's best friend when they were young. They were inseparable. They grew up together, shared everything with each other, and went everywhere together. But one day, they had a terrible argument.
Sakujiro seemed to feel that Inazuma was too peaceful, and wanted to see what the outside world... But our Keisuke took after his father and mother. He felt that there was nothing wrong at all with being peaceful. You know what children are like. They get terribly worked up about these sorts of things. In the end, Sakujiro stormed off, and that was that.
I see.
Keisuke said nothing to me or my wife about the fight. We could sense that he was very hurt by it, but eventually, whether out of pent-up anger or for some other reason, he joined the Tenryou Commission. He rarely comes home anymore.
If it was anything else, I could talk to Keisuke, and I'm sure he'd be willing to. But since it's Sakujiro, I don't feel there's any way we can get involved.
What a strange coincidence. Who'd have thought?
I understand now. When I asked Sakujiro why he came back, he just said because of past mistakes and wasn't willing to... Now I finally understand why he can't decide what to do.
Two best buddies in childhood. One grows up to join the Tenryou Commission, the other grows up to join the Tenryou Commission's most wanted list.
Well, no worries. If that's the case, then never mind. We can find some other way to help Sakujiro. There's no need to make things difficult for you. This sounds like something for Sakujiro and Keisuke to resolve between themselves.
Yes. It'd be so nice if they could go back to the way things were.
I think after all these years, they ought to let go of their grudges.
Well, can't say we didn't try. I'll let Sakujiro know after we get back.
Euthymia, something bad's happened. Some people from the Tenryou Commission came by.
Huh? Why? Do they know? Pops, are you alright? They didn't do anything to you, did they?
I told them the show was starting soon and the place was filled with fireworks, so they shouldn't go in because it's a fire hazard. But they didn't listen. It seemed like they knew Sakujiro was inside. Luckily, Sakujiro heard them coming in time and managed to escape through the window. The Tenryou Commission wasn't able to capture him.
Oh, this is bad news. I don't think Sakujiro had enough time to make his mind up. Pops, did you see where he went? Oh, the Tenryou Commission will definitely be chasing after him. Good point. Names. We need names. Suddenly showing up like this, surely it must be Keisuke's doing. The Commission wouldn't normally cause this big of a fuss over a stowaway.
Sorry, my ears are no good. And I didn't get a good look at them either. If you're wondering which way they went, they left the city. I wish I'd caught their names. But I didn't hear a thing.
As it happens, I did. I was getting some ore from my friend's place and happened to bump into them on the way over. I think their leader's name was Keisuke, just like you said.
Just as I thought. Thanks. If Sakujiro still hasn't made up his mind, those two running into each other won't solve anything. And even worse, there'll be no coming back from it for Sakujiro. We can't let that happen. Come with me. Let's track them down. It's Masasaka and his friends! Let's ask them!
Hi, Euthymia! Are the weapons to scare away the great Mujina yokai?
Oh, Mr. Ryunosuke is making them right now. Aren't you gonna... I'm sorry, but I'll bring you guys some candy next time. The extra sweet candy. Yay! Also, I wanted to ask you guys something. Did you see a bunch of scary-looking men come by here at all? Yep, we did. It looked like they were chasing some...
Are they trying to catch a monster too?
No, don't worry. It's all just a big misunderstanding. Be good kids and stay out of trouble, all right? Stay in the city for now, and I'll come play with you after the fireworks start.
We will. We'll be on our...
It looks like this is the right way. Let's keep going. If Sakujiro still hasn't made up his mind, I guess I'll have to step in. Look! There are people from the Tenryou Commission over there! It must be them!
Sorry, official business. I can't let you pass.
Sakujiro and Keisuke are up ahead, right? We need to talk to them about something.
Didn't you hear me? You're not getting past.
Ugh, what a nuisance! Well, you've only got yourself to blame! Time for a light show!
strong.
Let's light it! Lament!
Keep!
How dare you impede the work of the Tenryou Commission? You will be punished for your actions. There is nowhere you can escape justice. Not even at the edges of the world.
Look at that. The one with the loudest mouth had the fastest. We can't waste any more time on these guys. Let's push on. They should be just ahead. Let the show begin.
Your skills with the sword have stagnated, Sakura. You should have known that you stood no chance against me in a duel.
I never imagined I'd fall into your hand. If this is to be my fate, I accept it.
But your return says that you finally came around to my point of view.
Whatever you say.
You will return with me to the Tenryou Commission to await your sentencing. The one who made this boat will also be punished.
Wait! It doesn't have to end like this! Don't you have anything else to say to one another?
Hey, I know you. You're Naganohara's girl, who makes the fireworks. I know you like to get involved in other people's business, but stay out of this. It does not
It's okay, Euthymia. The past is the past.
Then why did you risk life and limb to get yourself back into Inazuma? And why were you so reluctant to leave after you got here? I'll tell you why. This is why. This is the chance you've been waiting for. To talk everything through.
I have nothing to say to him. He's a criminal. I work for the Tenryou Commission. There was never any room for this. Out of respect for the friendship we once had, I gave him a chance to fight for his freedom. But his skills with the sword are as disappointing now as they ever were.
What are you talking about? And just who do you think you're kidding? You left all your subordinates back there to go. I can see it in your faces. You both have.
Don't flatter yourself. What would you know?
Euthymia, leave it. It was just my wishful thinking.
No, I won't leave it. I will not stand by and watch when you haven't even done anything. Keisuke, you seem to like settling things with a duel, so let's do it your way. I challenge you to a duel. If I win, then you need to say everything that's in your heart. No more running from your feelings. And the same goes for you, Sakujiro. If I win, you will tell Keisuke exactly why you came back, no matter what the consequences are. You have to tell him everything. If you don't say anything now, you may never have another chance.
And if you lose?
Then I'll admit to collaborating with Sakujiro and accept the Tenryou Commission's punishment.
Euthymia.
I accept. Let's settle this with a duel.
Sir, we're here to back you up.
Back up? Duels are supposed to be one-on-one! All right, that's it! Let's help Euthymia! We can't let her fight them all alone!
That's gonna hurt in the morning. Teamwork is dreamwork!
Useless! Evil conquering! King! Worthless!
Sir, they are too strong. We need more men.
Stand down.
What?
I thought I told you to stay away. Now stand down!
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Young lady, You are just as obstinate as Sakujiro was back then. Why were you so convinced that we had things to say to each other?
Because Sakujiro may not have told me about you when he came back, but he did order a firework from me. Then your parents told me about what happened between you when you were younger. Once I'd heard the story, I realized that and that's why I simply refuse to believe that you have nothing to say to each other. Nobody sets off a firework to feel lonely, do they?
The reason I came back is that... It wasn't that I'd changed my mind, I just felt that what I'd done in the past was to try to escape from reality. I saw the freedom of Mondstadt, the contracts of Liyue, the wisdom of Sumeru, and the justice of Fontaine. It all left a deep impression on me. I was glad that I'd left Inazuma, but then I happened to hear about the Sakoku decree. I was an escapee, and I was proud of that. What I should have tried to do is take the good things from the outside world and bring them back home.
So that's why you came back? Out of your naive hope of changing the way things are here?
No, I let go of all those delusions of grandeur. I just felt that I never should have run away like that. After all, you never ran away.
Huh?
I don't know about you, but life hasn't been easy for me. But I just had to come back and visit. It was like fate was calling me, and I couldn't ignore it any longer.
Life isn't easy for anyone. I truly worship the Raiden Shogun. Her ideas were my personal creed, and I desired nothing more than to see her will done. But now, my role is to punish violators of the Sakoku decree and confiscate people's visions. It's not what I signed up for when I joined the Tenryou Commission. I do wonder, am I really doing the right thing? The boat is yours.
Huh?
I couldn't make you stay in Inazuma, but that doesn't mean I want to keep you here by force.
What will you say to the higher-ups?
Don't worry about that. I'll handle it. If you want to come back, I hear the process of returning to Inazuma from the outside world is long and complicated, but it can be done. I will lend you my help, but until then, you'll have to wait. And don't kick the bucket on the way out.
Don't worry, Keisuke. Any chance we can watch the fireworks together?
Maybe next time. I'll be demoted for sure. It's not like me to give in to childish sentiment like this. I can't explain why I went through with it. It's the one that Sakujiro planned on using for his escape. I asked Yoshitaka and the others to transport it here, citing the temporary contraband storage clause. Forcing Sakujiro to this spot was also something I had planned all along. It's just like you said, Euthymia. Even though I hadn't fully made up my mind, my actions betrayed my intent.
But I think you did the right thing. And look, now you've managed to resolve the grievance in your heart by talking about it.
I understand now. Thank you. I didn't know you were quite so perceptive. You saw right into what I was thinking.
That's only because I know your parents so well. They're both really nice people, so I didn't think the apple would fall too far from the tree.
I had heard there was a new Naganohara running things these days. Little loud and reckless, maybe, but you live up to the family name. By the way, Naganohara Fireworks can reproduce the firework that the two of us set off back then, right? Would you be able to make one for me?
Sorry, no can do. Without the slipper reference, I can't make the same one again. And I'm afraid Sakujiro is the one with the slip.
Ah, I see. Never mind then.
Don't get too down just yet, though. I mentioned that Sakujiro ordered a firework from me, didn't I? I can't make another one, but I'm guessing Sakujiro probably won't be needing his anymore. It'd be a shame for it to go to waste, so I'll make an exception and let you...
Thank you very much.
No worries. And don't miss out on the start of the fireworks show. Euthymia! The way you took... What can I say? If you're not willing to communicate, then the problem just sits there. If you just keep staring, Sakujiro and Keisuke can't turn back the clock in their relationship. Anyway, follow me. I'll bring you to the perfect place to watch the fireworks. My pops will set off the firework that I wanted to give...
Huh? Oh, it's... Keisuke.
So, Euthymia, these fireworks, what do they mean to you? Euthymia? Shh. Huh? Oh.
That was amazing! It was so beautiful I could weep. I didn't actually cry though, right? I just feel a bit misty-eyed. Oh, remember that big one? That's the one I had Pops make for you.
Oh, Paimon saw it! It was one of...
That's what I wanted to hear! I was hoping no matter where your journey takes you, and no matter what hardships might lie ahead, I believe that as time goes by, this firework will only grow brighter and more beautiful in your heart. Oh, and also, you're technically my customers now.
You know, Euthymia, you seem to...
Oh, I can hear you. I just have a habit of being silent while I'm watching firework. Quietly watching something you made with your own hands rise into the sky. You asked me what fireworks mean to me, right?
Yep. Well, for Koichi, who built the boat for us, and his friend, Third Sis, fight for Keisuke's parents. And for Keisuke and Sakuchi... Oh yeah, right!
As for me, to be honest, even though I've thought about it countless times before, I still haven't found an answer.
Seriously? Huh.
Well, no one's ever asked me this before, so I've never really settled on an answer. It was by chance that I happened to be born into the Naganohara family, so it's also by chance that I've met so many people. Fireworks that disappear in a flash of light are probably the furthest thing away from the eternity that our shogun desires. But people's feelings don't just disappear. And it's those feelings that give... Also, consider this. You have to... If we didn't exist, their wishes... You know, I don't really think about complicated things, but I'm proud that I was born into the Naganohara family and have the chance to make so many pretty fireworks.
The damned will sooner die again than lay a hand on me.
Thanks so much for watching. Please like, subscribe and share. Click the notification bell to be notified when a new video will be uploaded. Thank you, bye, good night.